Mexico versus Panama is the 2023 Gold Cup final, and I cannot wait for it. What a tournament this has been. I've been watching it the whole way through. We've had some brilliant semi-final clashes, and now we have a final. Just two teams left. Mexico, who were one of the main favourites, I'd say, with the US and Jamaica going into the tournament to win it, and Panama, who you could say were in that sort of B tier, and now they are in the final as well. What a tournament they have had, and today I will be predicting the final. I mean, I don't think I'll get it right. My predictions are usually awful. However, what a tournament this has been, and these two teams have really, really impressed me, especially, I mean, the Panamanians. I didn't think what they were capable of, but now watching them at this Gold Cup, I have absolutely no doubt that without the US, Mexico and Canada in qualifying, I think that they will easily finish top of the Concacaf qualification campaign for the World Cup. And they went 7 points out of a possible 9 in the group. They drew with El Salvador on the last day, but they beat Costa Rica, which is not an easy game. We know how Costa Rica have done over recent years, and then they also did beat Martinique. And then they got themselves quarterfinal clash. They absolutely destroyed Qatar 4-0. Ismail Diaz with a hat-trick in 10 minutes. That was brilliant display. And then against the United States, they were the better team for most of the game. They probably should have won it even before penalties. I mean, if you look at possession, shots on target, they had more. And obviously, Ivan Anderson takes them 1-0 up in extra time. Then Jesus Ferreira equalises, and that penalty shootout had me tense. That was a brilliant shootout. Jesus Ferreira missed the first penalty for the USA, but then Christian Martinez missed, and Christian Roldan, oh my god, awful penalty for the USA, which left, in my opinion, the MVP of the tournament, Adalberto Carrasquilla, to score the winning penalty and take Panama into the Gold Cup final. What a tournament they have had. Every single player has impressed me. Like I said, Carrasquilla, I think, should probably be the player of the tournament. I mean, so far, we don't know what happens in the final. He's been absolutely incredible in this Panama side. Then the likes of Edgar Bárcenas, again, José Fajardo, right? The likes of Aníbal Godoy have all really, really impressed me. And this, now, you can see, I think only one player in that team, which is Andrés Andrade. Most of them, other than him, play in North America, right? Andrade plays in Austria for Alaska Linz right now. But, so obviously a lot of them in MLS and Liga MX, but they have got a squad and they managed to play. I think that the manager, Thomas Christiansen, needs to be given so much credit. He's managed to play them. They've played the best football at this tournament, like just balling out. It's been incredible. Their goalkeeper, of course, Orlando Mosquera, saved 2 American penalties to take them into the final, so that was quite heroic. But honestly, Ismail Diaz, that performance against Qatar, everything has been really, really good from this Panamanian team, and I'm expecting them to make it really, really close against Mexico. I mean, like, I think that their attack is absolutely dazzling. Like, they have the amount of goals they have scored at this tournament, right? I'm pretty sure they've scored 11 goals in like 5 games, and then they've been playing sides like Costa Rica, the US, and like, these are difficult teams, and it's in the US, so they're not even playing at home. If this tournament was at home, I'm telling you, Panama would beat Mexico. But let's not discredit the Mexicans, because the Mexicans have had a great tournament after such a poor World Cup campaign. Then they've brought in Diego Coca. That Nations League loss to the USA was bad. They sacked Diego Coca. They've brought in Jaime Lozano, and oh my god, everything's went so much better for Mexico at this tournament. I expected them to maybe struggle a little bit, but they have started to like play ball at this tournament. Now, obviously, you could point out that loss against Qatar, where they had like 50 billion shots on target, and Qatar had 1 and they scored. But that was unlucky. It was the last group game. They didn't need to go through it. They didn't need to win. It was fine. The other games, Honduras 4-0 with Luis Romo. If you're getting Luis Romo to score 2 goals as a defensive midfielder, you're doing something right. Orbelin Pineda as well, getting a goal, as well as Luis Chavez. Then against Haiti, again, Haiti made it close when it was 2-1, but then Santi Jimenez's goal finished it off, and Mexico got themselves, with that win, through to the knockouts. Then Costa Rica. That was a tough game. But, I mean, for most of it, it was a pretty close game, and then the penalty. Orbelin Pineda's penalty made it 1-0, and then the Costa Ricans, it kind of threw them off. And then a late goal from Eric Sanchez to take them through to the semi-finals. But can we just talk about that semi-final performance from Mexico? Because it was absolutely unbelievable. This is the first time that I've seen the Mexican players just balling out, just having fun out there. It was really, really nice to see. Inside the first 2 minutes, the Henry Martin goal. Gallardo, I think, does really, really well. He had 2 assists in that game. Absolutely brilliant performance from him. Martin gets the goal. I still don't think he's having that much of an impact on the game, and maybe Santi Jimenez could be the one to start, but Martin gets the goal, you can't complain. Then that Luis Chavez free kick. Oh my god. Luis Chavez, just at the World Cup, that free kick was incredible, and this one he's done it again. Top left-hand corner, absolutely unsavable. And then late on in the 90th minute, Roberto Alvarado, benefiting from another assist from Jesus Gallardo. Alvarado off the bench, just like he got that assist in the Costa Rica game, he gets the goal off the bench in the Jamaica game, and just a great display from them. But in my opinion, the man of the match, I would say Jesus Gallardo gets man of the match for the Jamaica game, but as a close second, Johan Vasquez, bro. I was thinking that he's not going to be playing for Mexico, right? Because obviously you had Montes, and this was before the World Cup, you had Montes as the starter, and then you had, was it going to be Araujo or Moreno? And now we saw Israel Reyes being brought in. I didn't see Johan Vasquez, who's actually playing in Europe, right? He's in Serie A, he's in Genoa right now. And I didn't think he was going to be the starter, but he is now starting for Mexico with Montes, and he had a brilliant game against Jamaica. Ochoa, when he needed to make the saves, he did that as well. Jorge Sanchez, who the Mexican fans have been hating on recently, he had a good game as well. I'd say it was quite quiet from Antuna and Pineda, but that's okay because they still got the goal. And Eric Sanchez being brought in, he's still only 23, and I've never really rated him that highly. But obviously he got the goal against Costa Rica, and he was brought in because Edson had a bit of an injury, and the ball moved much quicker. It was really, really nice to see. Luis Romo, look, he's a solid player, but every single game he has to have that one back pass where it goes completely wrong, and sometimes it can be a goal, like we saw against Cameroon for Mexico. He had it again against Jamaica. It was okay, Ochoa saved it, but yeah. Off the bench, likes of Santi Jimenez, still needing to make more of an impact, but I think that he could certainly make an impact against Panama. He is obviously, I mean, we've seen him in Europe. I said he should go to, was it West Ham that I said in the last video? He scored 15 goals in 21 starts in the Eredivisie last season. So he is a very, very good player. But now, who's it going to be? Mexico or Panama? I think that Mexico are going to edge it just. I'm going for Mexico 2, Panama 1. I think that this will be a really, really close game because, as I've said before, the Panamanians have had a brilliant tournament. They've got some great players, and going forward, I think they're really, really dangerous. Maybe more so than Mexico. But Mexico have looked quite organised throughout this tournament. I mean, they've conceded 2 goals, right, in 5 games, which is, the Panamanians, I think, have conceded, 5. So you can see in that defence and that Vasquez-Montes partnership, I think it's good. And I think that the Mexicans will just be too strong. The pedigree that they have in this Gold Cup, they've won it so many times before. And what a great tournament Panama have had, and it is a great success for Panama to even be in this final. And the fact that now they've got World Cup qualifying up under Thomas Christiansen, and they would want to, I think they will, finish top of Concacaf qualifying and potentially go for a very, very good finish at the 2026 World Cup. They're still building, right, this Panama side, but I think Mexico will just be too strong.